guys, just wanted to jump on because the Gotham Awards for 2025, the nominations were released today. And there were a lot of things that made me happy. There are a couple of things that were interesting. So to start with kind of what the nominations look like, One Battle After Another is leading in all categories with 6 nominations. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You got the second most nominations, which I thought was interesting. There were a couple of things that made me really happy. The first was that I was so happy that Sound of Falling showed up in a couple of different categories. It showed up in Best International Feature and Best Original Screenplay. Wasn't in Director, that did make me sad. However, I will take that. I think that's an awesome nomination for Best Original Screenplay. Also in Best Original Screenplay is Jafar Panahi's It Was Just an Accident. Like I said in my TIFF review, love that screenplay. And Panahi also made it into Best Director. Guys, I'm calling it now. Panahi is getting into Best Director at the Oscars this year. I think it's just happening. The Gotham Awards and the Oscars, there's some overlap, but Gotham nominates some really out there films a lot of the time. And the other thing that the Gotham Awards does is they do not have gendered categories for acting. So instead of having Best Actress and Best Actor, they just have Best Leading Performance. So let's get into some of those performances. I like the supporting category because that is the only place that sentimental value shows up, which I think is a mistake personally. Stellan Skarsgård is there, as well as Inga Ibstoter Lilius. Sorry, my Norwegians. They're both there. I think if you're going to nominate 2 performances from that movie, those are the 2 to pick. Absolutely. Those supporting performances are dynamite. However, I'm really sad that Renate Reinsva is not here. She's not in the leading performance category. I also thought she was really, really good, so that made me sad that it's not there. Another performance I really am happy that is in the leading category is Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. Fantastic. I also think he has a really good shot of getting an Oscar nomination. I'm really happy to see that the Brazilian army is really, really coming out for The Secret Agent. And I think he can pull it off. That was one of the other surprises I had for The Secret Agent because I saw it was doing really, really well at Gotham, but it didn't get a Best Director nomination. However, it also made it into Best Screenplay. Honestly, I love the screenplay nominees for Gotham. I think they're fantastic. Oh my god, I just realized, guys. I don't think did Sean Penn make it in? No, he didn't. He nominated Benicio del Toro. That's kind of crazy. Really happy for The Secret Agent. For Sound of Falling. Really happy for It Was Just an Accident. It wasn't my favorite film, but I'm really happy that No Other Choice also showed up in multiple categories here. Oliver Locks got a Best Directing nomination for Seurat. So interesting. It is something I'm kind of keeping an eye out. I think Kleber Mendoza Filo is more likely to get a Best Director nomination than Oliver Locks is at the end of the day. But it was really interesting to see where people were showing up here. Voice of Hind Rajab did not get any nominations at Gotham, but I think this is the first big awards body that we see nominations from. So that's going to be really interesting to follow. Happy to see that so many films I loved at TIFF did really well at the Gotham Awards. That makes me really happy. Okay, did you guys see anything in the nominations that you were like, I'm not a fan of that? So what made you happy? All right, you guys can follow me here. Do the things. All right.